What I'm about to say may not be for the faint of heart. Read is not good. Read won't solve most of your problems. Read won't tuck you into bed every night and sing you a lullaby because Read is not real. Right? We'll get back to that. Reed, co-leader of the Dublin forces and sister to the epitome of If Evil, Why Hot, is a 5-star Charger Vanguard. After killing an enemy, Charger Vanguards grant you 1 TP, and upon being retreated, will activate their 100% money back guarantee, giving you back their original TP cost. Among all Vanguard branches, Chargers are best known by their saying, "My spear is ready for everyone, but only if it's one at a time, because I can only penetrate so many enemies at once." Reed's first skill, Swift Strike, not to be mistaken with Swift Strike or Swift Strike, gives her a boost in both attack and attack speed. Just like Reed though, this skill is a nondescript existence. It does 0 damage, it has no utility, and it'll just leave you unsatisfied, unlike if you had used Cantabile instead. Reed's second skill, Soul Spark, is her go-to skill. On top of a much better attack increase, Reed sprinkles in 35% of her attack as arts damage on top of each hit. This makes her usable against high defense enemies, as she's finally embraced that her spear is indeed rated E for everyone. While attacking enemies with 2 different sources sounds like it's breaking one of the Geneva Conventions, it still pales in comparison to something like Vigna's skill 2. In the words of Vigna, why maneuver around high defense when you can just punch a hole through it? And punch through it she does, because unless you're one of these guys, Vigna's rock will roll these enemies into their graves. But who needs damage when you've got a tail? As a wise man once said, big numbers fill a man's eyes, but a tail fills a man's heart. Reed also generates 2 DP per kill during skill 2, which is equally as good, I guess, since you can't spell Vanguard without DP. 2 DP per kill is so good that it's exclusive to Reed, and Bagpipe, and Granny, and Wild Man. So, Reed's module is pretty good, as it not only functions as an upgrade, but also as a tool to clean off the blood of her enemies. Good thing it can do the latter effectively, because it certainly isn't doing her combat potential any favors. A 15% attack increase on enemies below 40% HP is just so good that I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemies. Not because the boost in damage is effective, but because it'll give them a false sense of security before they get pierced by my Vigna. Her module upgrades are by definition upgrades, but are the equivalent of giving Surtur plus 50 max HP on her skill 3 on the 3rd of every other month. Most of the time it won't do anything, but when it does, it isn't significant. With all this negative talk, it's time to bring back that third point. While I do regret to inform you that Reed still isn't real, she's fully capable of the tucking into bed part, albeit for herself by isolating herself in a corner of the dorm. But fear not, Reed is also a team player. When you finally submit to her tail wiggle and give her the keys to the control center, Reed will increase the morale of all the operators in there with her. Whether that be through the tactics that charmed you, or the ever-present knowledge that she's capable of making someone explode from the inside, I'm not legally allowed to say. What I am allowed to say, however, is that while Reed may be lackluster right now, I have no doubt that she will be amazing in the future. And when that day comes, she'll look back and realize that she used to be a flame shadow of who she became.